Throughout my coursework project, I've incorporated a number of different pieces of software and websites in order to achieve a high quality finished product. This year was slightly different to last year because this project was done completely alone, allowing me to fully use all of the media technologies and understand how to use them, making this year's work a lot more interesting from a learning standpoint. The first piece of software I used, and perhaps the most obvious, is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is what I use to edit my trailer and other videos too. At first I was not completely sure how to use this software, however, after watching various YouTube tutorials I was able to grasp how to use the software efficiently, making my trailer look more professional via the use of three-way colour graders, audio stabilizers, brightness and contrast tools, as well as visual transitions such as dips to black. In addition to this, I also found out how to export my video in the highest possible quality. Before I understood the software, it was automatically set on exporting videos in 720 HD with minimal frame blending. However, a quick look around the export engine meant I could find the 1080p export setting and adjust the frame blending for the highest quality finished video that I would then upload to YouTube. In addition to Premiere Pro itself, I used media technologies within the software to ensure a high quality finished product. The first of these was colour grading. This includes everything that I've done to my clips to give them a cinematic look. For example, on the left you can see my unedited raw footage, and on the right is the final trailer after colour grading and edits. A lot of the edits are clear, such as the darker colour scheme. However, more subtle changes such as the widescreen bars and tints are minor changes that make a big change to the professional feel. Mostly my colour grading was done using a three-way colour corrector. This allows you to adjust shades and colours to make them have a certain colour tint to them. For example, by dragging the bar to the top or bottom you can see that the clip takes on a red or green tint. This effect can then be taken further by adjusting brightness, contrast, shadows and input and output levels. This was fairly easy to learn, and once I had decided on a cinematic look for Eclipse, it was a matter of setting this into a preset mode and applying this to every clip to ensure continuity and that none of the clips looked out of place. Second to Premiere Pro was Adobe Photoshop. I used this piece of software the most in my project, as this is what I designed a lot of my blog posts on, as well as using it to design my poster, front cover to a magazine, and all of the title shots throughout my final video. I had previously used Photoshop for a number of years, so understanding how the software works was not a problem. Having said this, I did learn more about layer blending and different brushes, which gave me a higher quality poster and magazine cover. This software was extremely useful. Without it I would not have been able to make such creative blog posts or high quality ancillary texts. An important piece of media technology was also Blogger. This is what I use to display all of my coursework. I find this very easy to use, and it is also owned by Google, making it easy to work with YouTube. There are a number of different layouts and themes to choose from, allowing me to personalise my blog how I wanted. We also used this last year, so I knew how to use it and how it worked, which is why I chose to use it again. YouTube was also used at various points throughout the blog, but most importantly when I uploaded the trailer. I could have uploaded it directly to Blogger. However, YouTube is by far the most popular and reliable video sharing website, and uploading my videos onto this meant that it was faster and easier to share the links to anyone who wanted to see the video, making it a lot more public. Again, I had used YouTube before, so this form of media technology was not new, but still very useful, especially when it came to finding tutorials on how to use Premiere Pro. I also used a website called Audio Network. This is effectively a massive database of songs and soundtracks that are all royalty free, which means they can be used in projects such as this without getting into any copyright issues. Most songs are 99p, meaning it is affordable and very worth it in order to find an effective soundtrack that works well with my trailer. This was even more important to me because I relied on music more because of a lack of audio. I had used this website in my coursework last year and found it helpful, which is why I used it again. In terms of the equipment I used, it was very minimal because I did not have a lot of equipment at my disposal. If this was a large project with a budget, I would have liked to include a high quality microphone as well as a 2-point light kit. This would have allowed me to record high quality audio, and the light kit would have allowed me to light up my shots in a more professional way, avoiding grain when filming at night. However, I did not have a budget on this film, so I used equipment I already had. This included a Nikon D3500 and a Harma Staff 75 tripod. The camera was excellent because it allowed me to record in high definition. This combined with the manual setting meant that I had very high quality clips that I could work with, and the tripod allowed me to take stable shots in different positions at different heights, which I found extremely useful for still shots. This year I used my DSLR camera to record all of the shots used in my media trailer, whereas last year we used a combination of regular camcorders and high definition HD DSLRs. This meant that there was a huge adjustment in the overall quality of work. The pixel ratio was upgraded from 720p, which is 1080 by 720, to 1080p, which is 1920 by 1080. This change made a tremendous improvement in quality as the entire trailer was now viewable in 1080p. As well as this, last year I had a lot of difficulty filming as the camera would auto-adjust during shots, making some of the filming come out blurred. However, this year I was able to preset my camera in manual mode, where I chose my aperture and focus settings as well as turning flash off, and filmed using this. This meant that all of my shots were in proper focus, resulting in a higher quality finished product. In conclusion, I used a range of media technologies throughout my coursework in construction, research and planning and evaluation. I think I used all of the technologies as efficiently as possible, and using such a large combination of different media technologies allowed me to understand how to use different software, which again resulted in a higher quality finished product. I used Photoshop in the construction of my ancillary text, as well as in my research and planning, as this was used to display all of my research. I used Premiere Pro when constructing my trailer, and also in my evaluation to record the videos. YouTube was used for research into other trailers, including music and editing techniques, as well as using my YouTube account to upload all of my finished videos. Audio Network was used in the construction because this is what I use for my music in my final trailer. My camera and tripod were used in construction also, because this is what I use to film shots from my trailer and record my evaluation questions. And finally, Blogger was used throughout all of my construction, research and planning and evaluation because I use this to display all of my work. I think that through this coursework I have learned a lot about how to use lots of new media technologies, and I hope to continue developing these skills. But at this stage I believe I use all of the media technologies throughout all of the stages of my coursework to my best ability, and I'm very pleased with the final result of my coursework.